Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters here for Season 10. Still in Cologne, still in Germany, but this time with a bit of a mid-time break, a special interview with a player that played in the open bracket. Unfortunately, has been eliminated, but we thought we'd get to learn a little bit more about players that you may not know too much about. So I'm sat here with Black Cat from the open bracket from Spain. So there's a lot of people at home now watching that don't really know who you are, even what race you play to a certain degree. So just tell us a little bit about your name, age, where you come from, race you play, ladder rank.
Okay, thank you. I'm Black Cat, my name is Roberto. I live in Spain and I'm 20. And I'm not a pro gamer, I'm just a normal guy, but I really believe in the former scene. I really believe in teams. And I hope I'll get a pro team and I will get to be a pro gamer sometimes.
So, I mean, how good are you at StarCraft then? What level are you?
I'm not as good as I would like to. I'm just a master, mid-master. But I'm practicing and I'm getting better.
And you traveled all the way from Spain here to play in the open bracket?
Yeah,
how far did you travel?
Actually, I've been driving all the way.
You drove all the way from Spain?
Yeah.
Where exactly in Spain?
Madrid.
Madrid. So how long was the drive to Cologne?
2,000 kilometers.
In time?
In time,
how long
2
did it
days.
take you? Took you 2 days?
Yeah.
So you had a halfway stopover on the way?
Of course.
Wow, that's an epic road trip. And you came here just to play in the Intel Extreme Masters?
Yeah.
Wow, and you mentioned to me it's a bit of a special feeling to be here too.
Yeah, of course. I'm very glad to be here. It's a special feeling because I'm a fan of all of things that are happening here. I've been watching IEM and I'm an ESL player since 2 years ago. And I've always watched it on the stream, always watched it on the TV, and be here is just amazing.
So you play in all the Go for StarCraft Cups, the weekly cups and so on?
Yeah, sometimes.
And then you decided to, why not sign up for the Intel Extreme Masters?
Of course,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for traveling this far out. I hope you've enjoyed it. You've got to meet MMA and some other people in the next room, I'm sure.
This is also amazing.
Yeah,
Being around all those people.
Yeah. I mean, have you said hi and met a lot of pro gamers that are back there? Because there's quite a few in the other room.
Yeah, of course, making photos and...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who's the funniest guy or the nicest guy you've met back there?
I don't know. Until now, I think Mana, it was my opponent.
Mana's a great guy. I mean, very lovable. I mean, everyone back at home loves Mana too. So we're going to have to go over very shortly to continue on the tournament. But is there any last words or anything you'd like to say to people at home watching? Family, maybe?
Well, nothing in concrete. I would like to thank to my wife. He came with me, and Cologne is just amazing, and the ESL is a good place to be. I hope it will be more people.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much, Black Cat, for traveling this far and playing in the tournament.
Thank you, Apollo.
Best of luck in the future, mate. All right, guys, take this microphone because Kalaris needs it, and I'll try not to ban these. Thank you very much, mate. All right, let's go find my friend Kalaris. Kalaris, it's time for the secret microphone handshake. All right, not awkward at all. Welcome back to the desk here. Let's take a look at the open bracket so far, as we're getting very close to finding out players that will be playing in group stages. We are now in the winner bracket final, where one of these is guaranteed to move through to group stages. Not sure which group they'll play in, but guaranteed through Patience or Heromarine, Moonblade.
It's pretty exciting because we've just seen Heromarine tear apart 2 Protoss already. You know, he overcame Mana, who seemed to be a bit of a thorn in his side for so long. So it's very exciting. I mean, it could go either way as far as I'm concerned.
What do you think, Kalaris?
I think Patience kind of went dark for a while. Like, nobody really knew what he was going to be doing and where he'd gone and stuff like that. But recently has had a bit more of a resurgence in terms of results, which is nice to see because he's always a happy little chappy, and he's doing really good for himself now. So I think that Patience could probably have a good shot here. Yeah,
Patience feels like a player who can be a little bit hit or miss sometimes. But we'll talk, I mean, we'll continue actually on about Patience. I mean, I think he got, what was it, top 4 at the most recent DreamHack that you were at in Valencia?
Yeah, he beat Gumiho and Fantasy on the way there, so he's got some sick PVT.
And he's still managing to hit the round of 32 in career as well, in Star League and GSL quite frequently. And that's very successful considering he was definitely kind of hot or cold a lot last year.
Yeah, I think he still is to a point. Like, he's had some great success and he drops out in other tournaments in like the first round. So he's very, very iffy in that sort of sense, but he should be coming into this pretty confident as well.
And the cool thing about Patience is actually he's not unfamiliar with this kind of stage and this place because he actually lived here for a long time. So he's not unfamiliar with people like Heromarine, the kind of European styles. So to see him really rise in strength and be back here again is really nice.
Yeah, Patience seems to be the player that everyone's fearing in this open bracket. The only Korean. Everyone's like, you know, I think I can get through with Patience.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us thought that as well, looking at this bracket. It's like, well, it should be Patience and someone else. But now it's got to this stage, you know, hopefully Heromarine, I'm sure he does know how Patience plays, but he does play a pretty specific way. He's very aggressive in most of his games.
Well, here is Patience, of course, 19-year-old from Dead Pixels, also from Korea, as mentioned. Played in multiple tournaments over the years. I remember the first big tournament that he really came out was that DreamHack Winter a couple of years back when he got a top 4 then. He's continuing to get top 4s today too. But he goes up against Heromarine, who is King of the Hill right now. We've called him King of the Hill because he's played every game so far on main stage and won every game on main stage. But he definitely goes up against a very difficult opponent. Heromarine, this is a golden chance now to go through to where he needs to be, because he's already said if he drops down to play a loser bracket, he doesn't really want to play Mana again. Yeah,
that could be the thing. I mean, Mana would learn from this loss, that's for sure, about what went wrong, and it could just be a completely different ending. Those games went the distance, and they were pretty close in some points, especially that game 1.
Yeah. What do you think is Heromarines' key strength that we've seen today?
I think it's a lot about his engagements more than anything else, and like he's been making the right choices based on what he sees from Mana as well. Yeah. The game 1, it was very back and forth, like constant fighting. But game 2 is like he saw the army composition, he just knew what to do, and he did it perfectly.
All right, then very fast then predictions, guys, before we get into the game. Claris, begin.
I think Patience is probably going to take it. Heromarine, he's had the German, and then now he's had the international player in Mana. Now he's got the Korean. So this is
the trick where most people fall over.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Moonglade?
I think I'm going to give this one to Patience. Yeah, all right. 2-1.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time to head to the game in Germany versus Korea.
Hey guys, we are going to be diving into an awesome TVP, the final qualifying match for this group to see who can come out first of this open bracket. How are you going, Todd?
It's going good, man. We just saw Heromarine actually play some pretty good Terran versus Protoss, but now it's, I guess, a little bit more of a true test here for him going up against somebody like Patience, who he just lost to not too long ago at Home Story Cup, and the games weren't actually that close. So he's going to have to do much better this time around if he wants to be able to take out his Korean opponent.
Patience is a very stylistic player as well. I think Mana was going way for those macro games in that last set, kind of going away from his normal style. And I think Patience is going to stick truer to what we expect from Patience, especially in this first map. So we are going to be diving into Bridgehead for map 1. It's going to be a crazy game. Let's take it away. Spawning here on the left-hand side of Bridgehead, we have the Protoss powerhouse hailing from Korea. It is Dead Pixels, Patience.
And his opponent, starting on the right-hand side, playing as the Red Terran, playing for Team Mousesports, it is, of course, Heromarine, who had quite a few good games today against Protoss already, and a perfect record as well.
Looking really, really powerful. I think what surprised me the most was that game on Coder against Mana. Coming into that late game and at times looking a little bit like it was going to be a very hard game to close out, but then getting some really impressive flanks. And I think what impressed me a lot as well was his ability to keep on kind of poking around the edges of the map with his drops without overcommitting. A lot of the time you see Terrans get to that late game, they feel like they've got to kind of kill the Protoss straight away, dive in with their drops, kind of get feedbacked and get killed. But he was actually very kind of careful with how he positioned in that late game.
I agree. I felt like that game ended very suddenly. Like, you know, they were having a lot of fight back and forth. It's like, well, I guess like they're so evenly matched that it's probably going to go on for much longer. And then all of a sudden, you know, like Heromarine just starts doing super well and just wins right out. Same thing actually on Iron Fortress. I really thought that this was going to go on for longer. Like, Heromarine moved across the map, he started getting a lot of turrets against the Phoenixes, and then all of a sudden it's like, he's going to set up there and take his time, right? Just gets in there and win the fight while he's getting turrets there. And somehow the game ends in an instant. So on this map, it's actually going to be a CC first there, which is going to be spotted. Heromarine, he's actually a little bit of a repeat offender there. He loves to go for the 3 CCs. And if you're aware of that, you can punish it with a number of builds. Now, Patience, unlike his nickname says it, he's not actually that patient. He loves to play super aggressive. So if he was to go for some very aggressive builds and he catches Heromarine being super greedy, then it's going to be really tough for Heromarine to stay in there.
Interestingly enough, spotting it nice and early, he does pull off that gas geyser and go straight for that faster expand build. Now, Bridgehead's a map which, to be honest, I haven't seen too many TVPs on this map. We've heard a lot about the problems where Protoss players can take down those back rocks with very aggressive attacks, and it's really hard for Terran players to defend that side because it is so wide open and you don't have the advantage of a high ground ramp. Do you think something like an Immortal Sentry timing is something that would work here?
It could be good, but I think something even better to do is just to go for Blink and apply some pressure and not necessarily commit that much to it, but kind of fake it, you know? Especially if you have Patience's image, where everybody, you know, like in this case, Heromarine would be overreacting a lot with like a lot of bunkers and stuff. And behind this, you just get a bunch of forges, you get your upgrades going, you keep on taking, you take a third base, and you're in a great position altogether there if you're Patience. He's delaying his Mothership Core so much. By not getting his Cyber Core immediately after his gas there, because he wanted to go for the Nexus before. So we're gonna have to keep that in mind. Like, this is gonna make some of those Marines timing much stronger, but it looks like Heromarine wants to go for a factory, I'm guessing, for a Widowmine drop.
Well, Patience just has all the information right now. This probe is still alive in this base, just doing circles, and it's this moment where he just knows there's nothing that can be coming at me. This is a 1 Rax follow-up straight into a factory. So Patience is not really prioritizing getting out that fast Mothership Core. It is out now. He's just going to be building up that economy initially and really preparing for that sort of 7-minute 30 Widowmine drop timing, which he will be anticipating.
And usually you see a robo being actually made right about now to be able to make sure that you have the observers on time to defend this, but with Patience, that's what I was gonna say. Like, seeing a Stargate or a Twilight is not even actually that uncommon. Actually, like, it makes perfect sense because you can go for either Phoenixes or an Oracle into Phoenixes and defend against this really, really well, and then you're gonna have a lot of map presence, like air control, so to speak. You're gonna be able to fly around, get a lot of info, and then tech into whatever you want, which in this case, a lot of the time is gonna be the Colossus.
That's such a versatile tech path as well. The Oracle, of course, can be used for detection later on. The Mothership Core actually taking quite a bit of damage here, but it does just come in, and once again, Patience has all the information, confirming exactly what the follow-up is. There's no doubt in Patience's mind right now, whereas Heromarine trying to scan, trying to figure out what's happening.
That's really sad.
He doesn't see anything. As Heromarine, he's just got to say, oh, I've got to take a guess. And I don't think he's going to just immediately jump to the conclusion that this is Phoenix. And with these Phoenix, of course, not only can they pick up Widow Mines before they burrow, they can shut down the medevacs completely. You're not getting back across the map. So if Heromarine commits to this without really getting wind of what's going on, he could be walking into a trap.
Yeah, this is, I think, a bit weird, though, there by Heromarine. He just has one single Widow Mine, and he made a tech lab on his... He's getting a tank. It's actually supply block war, so he's going to be making a tank here in a second.
Could you drop on across the rocks and do some sort of siege elevator push, perhaps? I don't know. Maybe an old school even 1-1-1 sort of timing? Or do you think this tank could even just be for defensive purposes?
Maybe because he's really afraid of Blink. Usually when there's a hidden building like this, it's almost always going to be some kind of Blink play, especially out of Patience. In the first, I guess in the last 2 games that he played recently at Home Story Cup against Heromarine, there was Blink Stalkers involved, especially in the first game where he made a lot of them, just moved across the map and kind of killed him pretty much immediately. So now the Phoenixes are going to be revealed, and we're going to see whether Heromarines...
He's coming in at the top with a Widowmine drop, actually, and just shut down completely.
Absolute shutdown, yeah.
Not as brutal as if he went for 2 Widowmines, but we can see here Heromarines mindset. We can start to see that he hasn't seen what's going on, so he's going for that tank, getting that out, and he's actually adding more tanks on as well. But he's going for upgrades at the same time, so this isn't some super all-in sudden cheese rush attack. It's actually just a really unique compositional style he's going for, but he also seems a little bit worried. With that lack of information, he's building turrets.
He cancelled, actually, which I really like. I was wondering, because that second tank was like getting close to finishing, and I really don't think it's a good idea to go for tanks there. Patience, with the level of comfort he's already acquired in this game there, he's going to start a 3rd Nexus before adding on extra gateways, so he's just read this perfectly, and I'm quite liking the position for Patience. I think Heromarine definitely, you know, he is still in it, but so far, like, I think Patience has done way better in this game.
Even the psychological edge at this point, knowing exactly what's going on. Heromarine feeling very trapped in his corner of the map right now. Really, there's not a lot he can do except slowly expand out right now, add on those upgrades. just a couple of SCVs being picked off, the Marines having to walk back and forth. There's just so much freedom for Patience behind this. He really doesn't need to worry about any fast attack, whereas Heromarine, he's slowed his economy down so much by building the siege tanks for safety, you know, getting out the Widowmine drop, which did 0 damage and got shut down. Heromarine hasn't really been able to put any pressure on Patience, and I think his economy, his production has just been so slowed down as a result.
Yeah.
But I think the key point here is going to be not to ever overextend. It's going to be establishing that third base, but then how do you protect from the Phoenix harass when you're so spread out here?
Yeah, I think he's going to have to get a turret there pretty much immediately as he starts the command center on location, I'm guessing. And he went into 5 barracks pretty quickly with this, so he's going to have actually a pretty darn insane production. Look at this, he's going to start the 3rd command center on location. Not quite getting a turret there, so these Phoenixes, they're actually headed there.
Oh, it looks like Heromarine might catch some of these Phoenixes, but Patience is on the ball. It looks like Heromarine wants to move out to pressure, but if we can read anything to his mindset right now, he feels confident in those long macro games. That's where he won those previous matches. He really loves that mid to late game, and here in the deciding match, the winner of this match does qualify for groups. He doesn't want to throw anything away by being too brash. Notice his army is just really sitting in the middle of the map. It's not overcommitting right now.
And I really like that here, in this case, Patience, he identified that he didn't need the Phoenixes in defense back at home, so he's actually moved across the map with them to try and put a little bit of harassment on. And back at home, he's going to have enough to defend against those medivacs, 2 medivacs, and a huge chunk of bio with the ground army that he has.
Well, we hear Marine starting to work on those back rocks, looking like he feels like he needs to put some more pressure on here. The Phoenixes are on their way back across the map, though. If Heromarine dives in here, this will be a very dangerous position. Patience has got his army set up there. He's just waiting for him.
That force field. Like the dot on the dartboard, man.
The Phoenixes are saying, you can't get out of here. I'm going to punish you if you come any deeper, and just barely does Heromarine escape with his army.
I really like the pylons on the map by Patience at the bottom. Not only can be offensive later on and reinforce faster, it's also going to give him a lot of vision as to whether or not there's medivacs in that corner of the map flying around trying to drop in his bases. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like, Patience is really not the guy to sit back. Like I said, he doesn't always wear his nickname super well. Look at this. More gateways going to be added on, and I'm pretty sure that upon reaching 3 to 4 Colossi, he's going to be moving out and applying a lot of pressure, maybe even trying to finish it.
I actually think Heromarine might be okay against that. He's producing 4 Vikings at a time right now. He's got 2 starports, both with reactors pumping them out. And I think in just a minute or two's time, he's going to have easily enough Vikings to handle any army from Patience. Oh, look at this. Another nice pick-off. Almost getting that Viking. It just barely survives there.
Oh, it was a trap. He went on the other side there. Heromarine not quite going to get a Phoenix.
It does just push him back for now. Oh, even on the top side of the map now, pylons are going down. Patience is going to be ready to counterattack from every angle, doing the old school Warcraft 3 human farm scouting, just throw buildings all over the map and you're going to spot anything coming your way.
That is very old school, actually, not just old school. That was like Reign of Chaos.
Yeah,
that was before the extension.
That's when I was you know, pretty competitive in the low levels of ladder. I used to play Warcraft 3 a little bit. I was a really bad player, but oh, here it comes out.
So was I.
Wow.
Chasing him down a little bit there. Actually, Heromarine's going to lose a bunch of units, but if he gets a good engagement here out of this, Patience is regrouping with everything he's got in the middle of the map. And right now, I think he knows that Heromarine is going for the move out, where he will try to basically win it, or do a lot with it.
This is such a scary army from Heromarine. He's just got that Viking count up, and Patience is really relying on charge. He's got 24 charge zealots. His charge upgrade is only about 20 seconds from finishing right now. He's chrono boosting it as hard as he can. He's warping in so many more zealots and stalkers, and he's getting very close to max, but he doesn't have a lot of upgrades. He's only on 1-1. Heromarine's army, oh, if these Vikings get a good angle, this could be very frightening.
Yeah, charge already finished. 1-1 upgrades against 1-1 again. Patience trying to buy some time. He's gonna lose some stalkers. That single tank. What a boss.
The tank actually coming in useful here, complementing that bio army really well. 1 Colossus already going down to the Vikings. The entire armies are engaging. Heromarine pulling back his bio ball. Oh, 3 Colossus still stand. Really great focus fire from the Blink Stalkers so far, but this Terran army is just massive.
Yeah, there's quite a few Colossi left over though. Those Vikings are gonna press forward. Good blink onto them. He's gonna go for the snipe on every single Viking there. But they're taking out the Colossus quickly enough. There's gonna be one of them left alive though. The tank still holding strong.
This is such a close fight. That Nexus Cannon is just pounding out damage, only a little at a time, but over time, this Terran army is getting very weak. It's in the deep orange and red, and now these last Colossus beams are crushing through it. Patience looks like he's about to break out, and he is pushing through this Terran army. Heromarine's last medevac goes down, only one Viking in the air, and GG, well played.
Patience with a fantastic hold there. Really felt like he was able to propel himself into the game in a very good position with that opener and having perfect information, which, to be honest, wasn't fortunate or anything. It's just the way he scouted, tried to take the info, and always knew exactly where he was at, whereas Heromarine, he had to play a lot in the dark in this game and kind of make guesses with that tank to counter some supposed blink stalkers that never came.
I think Patience did have a chance to, of course, study Heromarine's games a little bit. In between his breaks, there was a lot of TVP Heromarine had to play so far today, so it does give him a very good read into how Heromarine wants to play this match. Patience there, looking very focused, doesn't look too excited by that win. He knows he's just one map away from qualifying for groups, and really, for him, he wants to make it beyond groups. Like, a top 8 finishing, anything below that is got to be a bit of a loss in his mind.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be heading to a break here for a moment. It's going to be short, so don't go anywhere, guys. See you in a bit.
Welcome back to Intel Extreme Masters Season 10 here at Gamescom. We are witnessing an amazing TVP match right now. How are you doing, Todd?
Doing good. Protoss finally doing well after going 0-4 against Heromarine. And yeah,
Patience.
I'm happy when Protoss does well, even though I wouldn't mind if Heromarine won, obviously.
Oh, you know, he's been working his way up for a while, but even if he does lose this match, he does have a chance in that lower bracket. But I think that first game was a great example of a match where things weren't going his way from pretty early on. I think Patience looked like he had a bit more leeway in that game, saw everything that went on. He was the one really reacting and taking advantage of him. I think Heromarine's got to come out, be a little bit less predictable this game, maybe play a little bit less scared.
Yeah. Actually, Heromarine, being in the winner's bracket finals there of the open bracket, he's guaranteed top 3, which means if he's first, second, then he advances. If he's third, then he's going to have that match for the 5th place to try and advance to the group. So he's going to get quite a few chances, even if he loses there.
He's still got a really good shot at it. Of course, first he has to come back in this set. He's going to be going up against Dead Pixel's Patience.
His opponent, he was put in a very unfavorable position because of the openers and the fact that his opponent saw everything, playing as the red Terran. It is Heromarine.
The young prodigy hailing here from Germany. He's been on the rise for a long time, a slow and steady increase in his skill pretty much every time I see him play. Just recently qualifying for the WCS, and he is really keen to make it into that group stage. I actually think if he made it into one of the groups which isn't quite as hard, he'd have a really good shot of flying straight through to the top 8.
Yeah. I mean, Heromarine, to me, he's always been, kind of solid, but in some of those big matches against, bigger players, say guys like Patience that we have right here, unless things really go his way early on, then he struggles a lot more. And look at this, a very quick gateway there. By Patience.
10 gate, 10 gas. What does that mean, Todd? What can he throw his way?
Usually 10 gate, 10 gas, like you want to do a rush, which a lot of the time is going to be with a mothership core. So you want to fly that mothership core across the map to try and put on some aggression. A lot of the time is going to be with a Zealot and a Stalker. And you're going to be trying to kill SCVs, bring your opponent's walker count down while you build up your own in the meantime.
And Heromarine has gone for a barracks into gas himself, looking like he wants to go for that very typical, very safe Reaper opening, not falling for the trap of going for that very greedy command center first for a second game in a row, and even sending out the SCV scout here. So he should be reasonably well prepared. Now, as a Terran player coming across, what does he need to see to realize that it's such a fast gateway? Is it going to be the lack of a second pylon being down?
Oh yeah, he's going to realize it right away. Like even looking at a saturation on the minerals here by Patience, you can already tell that something's kind of wrong. And upon seeing this, I think Heromarine is basically going to be in a fantastic position to just hold it, crush it, and then do well going further into this game. But he needs to react properly. I think he might need to start pumping up Marines out of his barracks ASAP. Does he realize? Sees the mothership core starting.
Ooh, the special...
He gets a reactor anyway. Okay. This might not be the best of decisions
and
there.
a command center on the high ground. I think he's actually misread the scouting information there, seeing a chrono boost on the Nexus and the gateway, thinking maybe this is just a regularly timed Stalker and Mothership Core, but they're going to get across that map so fast. And this is Coda. Between the main bases, like that Mothership Core can get to his base so quickly. That reactor's just going to be finishing.
A reactor takes 50 seconds to build. Now it was about halfway through done when the Mothership Core came out. He's going to try to get a bunker there, but I don't know. 2 Marines usually, they struggle against a Mothership Core, and now there's going to be the support of a Stalker in there as well with this. Behind this, Patience going to be going for the Nexus. So we're going to rely a lot on this here to do a lot of damage.
Heromarine sends the SCV back in, does get a scout of the Nexus timing, but still doesn't seem fully aware of what's coming his way. And, the Stalker's actually catching the Reaper here. If he can kill that Reaper, that's so huge.
Yeah, but not only is not, this also bought a whole bunch of time there for Heromarine. So I quite like it for him. He's already got 2 Marines out. He's getting in 2 more. And he should be okay, to be honest.
His Mothership Core is going to come into this mineral line, and that is going to be able to do quite a little bit of harassment there straight away. But Patience, interestingly enough, looks like he wants to just hit the front with that, start whittling down those Marines, trying to focus them down before they get back in that bunker. But good micro from Heromarine. Oh, really, really good micro. Gets that Mothership Core down very low.
This opener killed nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. And this was a big investment. Now, all of a sudden, we have Patience on 23 probes against 22 SCVs here for Heromarine, who's going to have an earlier expansion. He's already got a factory as well behind this. I really like the way he's handled this. I do feel that if Patience had gone right across the map immediately instead of stop for that Reaper, it would have been better for him. And spotting that quick Twilight, you already know, it's either Blink or DT, so he can start and getting ready for both pretty much.
Oh, Heromarine looking like he's in a very, very strong position here. Reaper even comes back into the natural, sees absolutely no probes mining there. Heromarine got to feel comfortable with that information. Behind this, he's going to have the Widow Mines up. He's going to have medevac production very soon. And that's what really allows the Terran to put on a lot of pressure. It forces the Protoss player to start getting detection, to really cover their bases.
Oh, look at this. Patience with 3 more gates. He's going to commit. He's going to go all in.
4-gate Blinkstalker taking a leaf out of Lil Bo's book, maybe saying, look, if I can shut down this first medevac that comes across, I'm just going to leap into Heromarines base
I'm not
and start
even
shutting
sure
everything down.
He's realizing that there is a medevac that's going to be coming across the map, because all he saw was a reactor barracks, and usually sometimes you're going to have more barracks behind it, and it's very hard to time, especially since his build is so off in terms of timings compared to where he usually would be. But now that's a big tell. Spotting a probe like this in this location, even gonna see a pylon there. He needs to start bunkers there.
Oh, this is the qualifying match. If Heromarine loses here, he does have to go down to that loser's bracket, and it looks like Patience is set to try and steal that away from him. The medevac sliding across the map right now, slowly working its way into Patience's territory, but there's so few units at home for the Terran player. Heromarine is going to struggle very, very hard to hang on here.
He's starting to get a tank there. I think that's about as good as trying to get Widow Mines, but across the map, Widow Mines are going to be dropped in the mineral lines there, and Patience's economy is about to get wrecked. He's going to have to pull SCVs there to fight against these Stalkers, because that's quite a few of them. There's a double time warp available as well.
Oh, the Widow Mines, huge hits, getting 7 worker kills, but at the same time, the Stalkers are coming in for Patience. Patience has no detection at home. He has no answer to those Widow Mines disrupting his economy, so he has to get damage done right here, right now.
Hey, kill more probes than SCVs were killed there, so this is pretty good right now for Heromarine. He's gonna get a tank, he needs to siege that ASAP. The Stalkers are about to blink back up there. Patience is completely all in. He's not even gonna try to leave his natural here with his probes back at home. The tank is pulled back, and more SCVs there are gonna die. As long as he doesn't lose too many, I think he's gonna be okay.
Still got double mules mining down here at the natural. The SCVs are continuing to shield. A couple of Stalkers going down. Patience only just dropping the Robo now, and another, only 3 probes going down in that second wave of the Widow Mine shots. Heromarine's attention being forced to home and getting the bad luck of the draw with those Widow Mine shots.
Yeah, he needs to hold on there though. This tank was poorly sieged in a bad location. He's gonna shot one time there, but more SCVs have just died. And the Widow Mines in the natural, they're about to fire again, and I guess there's gonna be a few more probes there dying in a second.
Only 2 kills again.
Oh, he's blinking on top of the tank here. Patience, fully knowing he needs to commit more to the aggression. He's down to less probes, and there is SCVs on the map.
But
so he needs to do more damage.
Taking out that siege tank is huge. maintaining this Stalker count really well. Where's the damage output for Heromarine? He only has 6, 7, 8 Marines on the map and 2 Widow Mines.
He's gonna salvage his bunker. He knows he's desperate right now. He knows he's down to his last few units. And he's completely killed the economy of Patience.
So many more Stalker Warpins coming here. Patience's economy just not being disrupted enough by those Widow Mines, and Heromarine is being overpowered here. Patience wants this spot in that group stage, and he is going to steal it away here from Heromarine. He is pushing in so hard, killing so many SCVs, and further 19 SCVs have gone down, and these Widow Mines are being cleaned up on the Protoss side of the map.
By probes.
They know that Widow Mine's their enemy. Look, if we look back at the natural of Patience, we can see this Widow Mine is running circles around the mineral line. A cute little maneuver there from Heromarine, just forcing out more lost mining time and really delaying the economy. But Heromarine just has so little to work with at home. Getting a few more probe kills is nice, but he's just lost that brunt to his army. Losing that siege tank was so massive. Now he's got one more up. He can hang on here, but can he actually push these Stalkers back? These Stalkers...
He's actually killing a bunch.
Oh, focusing down a Marauder, though, I think that's actually a decent trade for Patience.
Steam Pack's about to finish, and he's got 34 army supply to 22, so I think Heromarine, he needs to make something happen, whereas Patience, having 38 probes against 14 SCVs in a great position here, he's just going to go for a Dark Shrine to try and get maybe a DT drop himself, or at least some Dark Templars on the map to do some damage with. And I really like that. As risky as it is, this double drop by Heromarine I think is brilliant, because Mothership Core, as much as he's flying back home, like 2 medivacs worth of units there, it's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Might even spot the Dark Shrine, which would be huge for him.
Oh, 16 Stim Marines is
no
not
eBay.
something to trifle with. And if he spots those DTs coming, he will be so well prepared. Heromarine needs to get some counter damage done here, and he drops in here with all these Marines. Only a Nexus Cannon to fight them. Really good control so far, taking down the Mothership Core, and he's just going to run straight into that natural where there's no defense.
I don't think he saw the Dark Shrine. Like, he was right next to it, but I don't think he actually clicked on it and realized that it was a Dark Shrine, because right now Heromarine is not getting any eBay. He's not gonna have turrets to work with and detect this, so unless he was going for a Raven, which he's not.
Oh,
okay,
the
there we go with
Stalkers
the
have
eBay.
come home, focusing down a few of those Stalkers, but one medevac is going to go down here, saving 6 of the Marines. A very successful drop for Heromarine in that he denied a lot of mining time, depowered the Robo, but his economy is still in shambles back home.
DT is about to be warped in. It's going to be 2 of them at first there. I think there is at least 1 scan saved up. If he kills 2 DTs here with 1 scan, Heromarine, he's gonna have shut this down.
Oh, he hasn't spotted it. Oh, there! He gets the scan down, but that DT running into the main. Oh, beautiful depot lift, just barely in time. The eBay is finished. He needs to drop turrets right now, and that is a big loss of resources for Patience. 2 DTs when he's on such a fractured economy. Patience has got the pressure mounting on now. He needs to get more work out of these Stalkers. He needs to keep interrupting Heromarine.
Oh, this is actually hidden there. Patience is waiting for Heromarine to move out until he sends those Stalkers. He's gonna do that.
Oh, no!
Heromarine is completely out of position. He needs to pick up maybe in this medivac and drop in the main. He's gonna lose more and more SCVs. He's actually gonna go across the map. He's teaming to go and try and get a base trade here against the Colossus that we have coming out from Patience. That Robo is actually very low on hit points already.
Heromarines had enough. He's just pulling everything. He needs to actually pull the boys with this. He's going all in with this one push. There is so few units at home for Patience, but one Colossus is about to pop out. This Colossus is so important in holding this push.
Yeah, there's just a single medivac here with this, and Photon of a charge is going to be available in a second here for Patience. The DT is going to go to town on these units. And we have 1 single tank available. He's trying to go up the ramp, but there's force fields available.
Very nice force field to buy time, but he's going to lose his natural. Meanwhile, those Stalkers, they are on top of the Terran production. Heromarine, knowing he has to just lift off his buildings, he needs to run them over to his army. He has to go into a full base trade here. Meanwhile, Patience, look at that beautiful force field, just taking out 2 Marauders, 2 Marines.
Oh, the Colossus took a lot of damage. But there is 1 photon overcharge available here for the main. I think Patience, he can pull the probes. He can afford to, because right now the economy of Heromarine is completely destroyed. Here we go.
And DTs are the trump card. The orbitals are being focused down at home. That is one of the last scans Heromarine has. And that Nexus Cannon just finishes him off. And Patience, with a beautiful hold, clinches that spot going through to the group stage of IEM Gamescom.
Very good play here by him. Good adaptation to the situation, once again making enough Blink Stalkers to keep on doing damage consistently, and then behind this, the killing blow, the Dark Shrine with the DTs, which as much as the first 2 didn't do much, going for into the main here with the Blink Stalkers, he was always going to make sure that he was, again, going to completely smash through the already very weak economy of Heromarine. And then from there, DTs in defense, you force a lot of scans, and eventually like you whittled down this amount of units that you had there from Heromarine, which was enough there for Patience to take the series.
It started to look very, very scrappy there in that game,
Yeah.
but I think there was a bit of experience shining through on Patience's part, as well as the fact that he thrives in these games. This is the guy who loves to do his early aggression, his crazy pushes, so naturally he's going to find himself in those positions where everything turns to chaos more often, and we could see that even though Heromarine was going toe-to-toe, it was kind of getting to that point where, hey, is Heromarine actually favored here?
Yeah.
And then he leaves that gap in his vision, moves out, and suddenly that constant kind of just pressure being put on by Patience finds this hole, and those Stalkers just completely undid all of Heromarine's hard work.
I think that Heromarine is probably a lot better in this kind of very chaotic game, you know, where like there's just chaos all over the place and he's very scrappy, like you said. So not really surprised with him doing better in this kind of game.
And he played it very, very well. Let's go to the winner's interview now with Patience. Take it away, Apollo.
Thank you very much, boys. Good job casting together. Patience, congratulations on being the first player to go through from the open bracket. Going to jump straight into this. When you came up here knowing you're playing against Heromarine, did you look at this and say, you know what, I'm first place through this? Were you nervous at all about that?
자, 조진현 선수 일단 이번 IEM 10 게임스컴에 처음으로 예선을 뚫고 이제 내일부터 진행되는 조별 리그에 진출하셨는데 일단 첫 번째 오늘 처음 이제 무대 경기하면서 상대 히어로마린 선수를 봤을 때 좀 약간 좀 긴장이 되거나 아니면 이 정도는 뭐 살포시 뒤로 밟고 갈 수 있겠다라는 생각하셨는지요?
제가 그 저번에 작년에 무대에서 경기에서 히어로마린 선수한테 3대 0으로 3대 1로 져가지고 조금 긴장은 했는데 근데 지금 테란전 제가 잘해서 질 것 같진 않았어요.
작년에 어디서?
작년에 이세드에서 그 독일
So actually last year I have experience in losing
Yes.
against Heromarine
EPS.
3-0. EPS? Okay. So I was a little bit nervous, but these days my versus Terrans are just
Top notch.
up a notch. So wasn't really nervous at all. And
There we go. Did you manage to watch any of Heromarine's games before against the other Terrans he's played today?
제가 이번에 조가 예선 조가 딱 떴을 때 히어로마린 선수 보고 어느 정도 예측을 하고 혹시 오기 전에 히어로마린 선수 경기를 좀 봤었는지.
I was play in Home Story Cup versus Heromarine. So I know his style. Just don't watch VOD. Just come.
So yeah, I played him at Home Story Cup.
Thank you for the English translation there, James. Heromarine said coming into this, because he played you at Home Story Cup, he said it wasn't close. It was a very easy win for you. And he was a little bit nervous coming into that. Was that also like the reverse for you, just super confidence? You played him, you beat him very easily, you're going up against him again. Was it thinking that process?
자, 홈스토리컵에서 히어로마린 선수를 만났을 때 조현 선수가 살짝 좀 멘탈을 좀 털어줬다고. 그래서 오히려 히어로마린 선수가 약간 좀 긴장이 됐다 그랬는데 이게 아마 작년이랑 상황이 좀 바뀌지 않았을지 오늘 앉았을 때는 어떻게 생각하시나요?
제가 테란전 지금 누구랑 해도 이길 자신 있어서 네 자신 있었어요.
So right now, like I said earlier, my PVT is just up there. I don't think I don't think I'd lose to anybody if my opponent's a Terran.
What about the other Terran players in this tournament? Because
Actually, in the morning he's mentioned something.
Yeah? What did he mention?
아까 아침에 얘기했었던 거 그대로 얘기해 줄게요. So this morning, me and what's his name, Fantasy, we're looking at his game, and we're looking at his micro and stuff. And it's like, whoa, man, because you've been complaining that his hands are too cold all this morning. And his micro is just perfect, crisp, clean. So we're just all sitting there chatting with MMA and stuff, and he's like, I think I could be innovation if I stay like this with my micro and stuff for the rest of the tournament. So we're like, whoa, big words, man, big words.
Wow,
So that's
okay.
how confident he is.
Okay, well, what about the other races then? I mean, you got some pretty big names in the main tournament too. I mean, let's just go to Sue for the example. Is that a guy that you were like, please, not now, not until later in the tournament? Are you scared of Sue?
자, 일단 테란전에서는 이제 무한 자신감을 보여줬는데 혹시 뭐 예를 들어서 어윤수 선수라든지 다른 종족전은 어떻게 생각하시는지요?
일단 저그전하고 토스전은 그냥 그날 컨디션에 따라 많이 바뀌는 것 같아요. 그래
더 얘기할 거 있으면 더 해도 돼요. I think my PvP and PvZ are that I haven't had a clear understanding of how to enter a matchup. So on days I do well, on other days I don't, and I'm in the middle of figuring out why and what's actually causing it. So I'm not quite too sure about the other races yet.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Patience. Congratulations for going through. Thank you very much, James, for translating. We are going to be going forward into open bracket number 2 very shortly. But before that, remember to check out plays.tv as mentioned before. If you've just tuned in from watching GSL earlier on, we've got highlights and matches up there for you to watch. And we'll be right back with the next game.